Hi, and welcome to Carolina Varsity's 2016 preseason best to last, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools. I'm Dale Ross.
And I'm the Pepman, Matt Morrow, and yes, the tradition continues. So as we normally do, we start from the bottom to the top. And coming in at number 22, we have the Garinger Wildcats. Garinger is going through another coaching change, and they've brought in Melvin Peterson. And Melvin Peterson was a former offensive coordinator in the 90s at Independence under Coach Rusty Jester. So this was before Knox was there.
Right.
And, in the 90s, I don't remember much about Independence and how good they were and all that. But
they were good under Jester, and Independence has, always been one of the better teams. And it used to be Independence in West Charlotte. Every year it seemed like almost, and then you'd get those times at South Meck or someone, popped up. But Independence was good in that time period.
Well, that's good to hear because that'll bring some good experience to Garinger, and we've been saying they need somebody with some experience there to kind of start turning the program around. And hopefully, they can get off to a good start for this season. Number 21, another coaching change, is Hopewell, and it's Coach Herlocker up at Hopewell. And I saw Hopewell in a 7-on-7 at Rocky River this summer, and they look young, pretty basic kind of offense. They ran some spread. They didn't really throw the ball down the field that much, but it looks like they're trying to play a ball control style, which if you're a young team, it's a good idea.
Right.
Try to keep you in ball games and be competitive. But we've seen in the past Hopewell to be a pretty good team.
Yeah, Hopewell's shown us in the past they can produce pretty decent teams. Stability is one of the items, and having the athletes is one thing. Having more than one coach, one or two coaches, it takes more than that. As when we talk about coaching staffs, to be able to be competitive. But we'll see what Hopewell can do. I'm agreeing with Matt so far. It's
all the difference of opinion will come.
Yeah, there are a few places.
So at number 20, I've got Porter Ridge and Mike Hurts. And there's a lot of respect for Mike Hurts. He was a defense coordinator with Justin Harden for a couple years in a couple different places as he moved around. But now he's kind of went off on his own down there in Union County. And I know you were mentioning to me off camera that, he was there before and didn't get the job. And now they've brought him in to kind of turn things around.
Exactly. He was a key coach in the when Porter Ridge was going to all those state championships. And a lot of people felt like he should have gotten the head coaching job. He should have, got the head coaching job. He should have been named the head coach when Harden left, and that didn't happen. He moved to Providence and joined the other Harden there, and now he's back. And I think that what this will do is bring some stability to Porter Ridge in that coaching staff, and the whole, as we know, one of the key environments or one of the key elements to having the right environment is stability.
Oh yeah.
And I think he brings stability to that program, and thus don't be surprised if they finish a little higher than 20th. As the season goes along, I'm expecting them to progress up.
It's good news if you're Porter Ridge. Are they the Pirates?
Yep.
Pirates, man. Keep an eye on
the Boneyard.
Oh yeah. Number 19, we have Barry. And we've been keeping an eye on Barry because there have been some changes there. Travis Witherspoon just recently was named the head coach. And a little bit about Coach Witherspoon. He's an offensive-minded guy. Most recently, he was at Cuthbertson with the former Barry offensive coordinator. And so I'm sure he got some insight from him about, how Barry can be, what kind of players you're going to get there. And that can only help you.
Right.
But, when you get a job this late in the summer, and, I've been a part of that, it's a challenge.
Right.
Some people have left Barry for other places already. And just a little shout out here to Coach Andrew Howard. Coach Howard kept things going while this process was being, gone through.
Right.
And that takes a special person to do that. And
I agree.
It's gonna be a challenge for Barry to kind of get things going, right now, because you got to learn schemes, you got to learn, your personnel, and you don't have any of that established. But hopefully by conference play, which is what counts if you want to go to the playoffs,
right.
They can get it together. And we've seen this team be very talented in the past and put a scare into people.
Well, that's one of the things that Barry's not, even with players leaving, one of the problems for Barry is that they are it's kind of a blessing and a problem for a sports magnet school. Being a magnet, you can have kids more easily transfer in to play,
right.
But you can also have them very easily leave and return back to their home school.
Yep.
And there was a number of that happened during this coaching transition. There were some players that left, but we know that Barry has always had athletes there.
Oh yeah,
and
always.
they're they just don't have the big bodied kids on the lines. But there's nothing there's nothing just from history that makes me want to think that Barry will not have athletes. And if the coaching staff is stable and the kids accept what the coaches are saying and can mold into whatever schemes that they're running, they could throw a scare into people.
Yeah, most definitely. Number 18, Harding Rams. Was just over there not too long ago. And, Coach Sam Griner, he's done a really good job of establishing a pride within the program.
Right.
They have a saying they call moving mountains. And they apply that to everything they do. Everything has a purpose. If you go on the site and see his interview, I think he gives a really good impression about how things are going at Harding. Things are going in the right direction. They have a new weight room. The players are definitely bigger and stronger when I saw them working out. And they have a couple of all-conference players returning. I think they have a shot of sneaking in the playoffs if they beat the right teams at the right times. They definitely are going to really go by their running back, Vavaris Crouch, and he's got several D1 offers already.
Okay.
Very good young man, well spoken. As a sophomore, you can tell he's a leader already, and they're going to go as far as he takes them.
It'll be interesting to see what they do. I really believe there's an opportunity that they could at least edge into the middle of their conference.
I agree.
Get right there on the edge of a playoff.
So at number 17, we've got the Olympic Trojans. And Olympic, we know Coach Wilkes is going to run that wing T offense. He's ran everywhere he's been.
Right.
Olympic has a couple of returning guys, most notably the quarterback, Dylan Ernie. He's a real good sized kid. He's like 6'4", and he can really throw the ball. And you can throw out of the wing T. We've talked about that a couple times in the past. And last year they got in the playoffs by beating Barry their last game. And now you kind of feel like they gotta kind of build on that.
Yeah, it's been several down years for Olympic, and they did ease into the playoffs or squeak into the playoffs last year. They're going to, right now, it looks like if things don't improve, there's going to be some, it might be a little tougher to squeak into the playoffs because of a team that you haven't mentioned yet. That was one of those fringe teams they had to compete with. So, beating a Barry is going to be very important in the playoffs. I think they're getting stability and within the program, not the coaches, but within the kids, and getting the kids to accept and to do discipline.
It's always a key, no matter what. What team you are, you got to have that.
I'm sorry, people. I don't know whether to cut this out or not.
I'm getting choked up about Olympic. No, your son played.
Well, all my kids went there. All 4 children went to Olympic. So 2 boys played there.
There you go. Coming in at number 16, you got the Providence Panthers. Providence, they came in last year, and new coach Brad Bowles from South Carolina. and they ran a lot of old school type offense. You know, a lot of option, a lot of stuff like that. And I've been told that they're going to open up the offense this year. They made some changes in terms of offense coordinator and things like that. And they got Drake DeLulius, of course, tight end. Is going to Virginia Tech, I believe.
Right.
And they've got another pro over there at playing receiver. So they got some offensive talent.
Right.
And I think those changes on offense are going to help feature those guys.
I think for them, it's just that is a true question of stability there. They have players, they have size.
I think they're developing their offensive line some too.
Yeah, so Providence is one of those I think that could potentially scare some people and could move up in that conference. So
the key is going to be defensively,
right?
Because they lost Jack King, another very good player on that side of the ball. And you're gonna see athletes, and we always have that same discussion about athletes. And
right,
do you have the types of kids that can match up with what you're gonna see in that conference?